Hello! Lord help us, it's time for another art supplies haul. This is from my birthday, Amazon Prime Day sale, and just random stuff. I hope you enjoy it, so let's get into it! For my birthday, Nick took me to see this T-Rex exhibition at the Melbourne Museum, and it was really fantastic. She was a beauty. As far as I'm concerned, any day that involves dinosaurs is a good day. And we topped it all off with a delicious birthday cake. My mum sent me some handmade gifts. She made all of these things. The sewing and knitting genes are strong in her, but they skipped me entirely, unfortunately. Here we have a knitted beanie. It's starting to get a bit too warm to wear beanies at the moment here in Melbourne, but I will definitely wear it next winter. She also made this little zipper case. I guess it could be used for cosmetics or pencils. Being me, it will end up being a pencil case. And she chose a fabric with a lot of New Zealand designs on it. That zip is sewn in so beautifully. I really wish I could sew like this, but I get so impatient with it, so I'll just stick to drawing and painting. I absolutely love this bag that she made, with some of the same fabric design, but also other scraps of fabric, and I just think it's really gorgeous. It's all lined beautifully, and Mum has done an amazing job sewing this bag. It's so unique, and I will definitely be using it as a tote bag. And a huge thank you to my mum for making these and sending them to me. I had birthday rewards at a bookshop, so I ended up buying this adorable enamel pen that I had my eye on for quite a long time. They still had it in stock, and it's very expensive. I'm not going to show the price, but the vouchers covered almost all of it, so I figured it would be mine for my collection. I received a $10 voucher from a craft store, so I used it to buy this pack of scissors. Most of the ones I currently have are very blunt, so it was good to get some new ones, and I also picked up this little diary because I just thought it was cute for next year. Whether or not I actually use it, I don't know, but I just love the book cover, and I'll use it as a junk journal if nothing else. It was in the sale pile, and I impulse bought that. If you watch Lindsay the Frugal Crafter, she released a set of stencils which are designed to use in a sketchbook. I'd really like them, but they're just so hard to get to Australia, so I looked around for a local alternative, and a shop near me called Zart has these really great templates. I went there for the square ones, but I also bought some circles, and there was a third one in the collection with a bunch of different shapes, and I thought these would come in really handy to put in my sketchbooks because I have different sizes, and it's fun to draw smaller frames around pictures and then have a whole bunch of pictures on the one page. I'll grab my sketchbook so you can see an example of it. This is my road trip sketchbook, which I am still working in. It is taking ages to do because I want to do it right. And I'm also doing this in between other videos. But I'll give you a sneak peek of one of the pages where I used some of the stencils to make some little frames for smaller pictures. I think it's working out well, and I really like this idea, so I will link Lindsay's stencils in the description below, and also these Zart ones if you're in Australia, to save on a bit of shipping. I still have quite a few pages to finish, but I'm getting there, and I will show this when I'm done. While I'm on straight lines, Nick bought me this cute little metal ruler that is designed to clip onto a book. And this will definitely come in handy because I like to use rulers in my sketchbook and I don't always have one on hand, so I'm thinking that having one that I can clip in will be really useful, and I'll stick it into my floral one for now. I'm sure you'll see me using this at some point. It looks very useful and it doesn't stick out too much on the page. We were in Aldi recently, and in their special buys they just happened to have some graphic markers, and of course I had to buy them. It's a 60 pack, it looks really nice, and it was $25. They're bullet nibs, not brush, unfortunately, but it's hard to say no at that price, and I think it would be fun to compare them with another set of cheap markers that I have, which are the Kmart ones, and these markers are really lovely, and if there are cheap art supplies out there that are actually good, then I want to be trying them out. So I'll do a video on these at some point. Here's another random shopping adventure. A Japanese store called Muji opened up at my local shopping centre. That Daiso is new as well. I was there running some errands and I saw a line of people. The sign said the first 100 customers would receive a free cloth tote bag, so I joined the line. I think I was number 50 something in the queue, but you could see it snaking back and forth. It was a whole thing. They had photographers and corporate bigwigs there. I think I was in that line for about half an hour before they opened. But inside they have a really lovely stationery section. And I may have bought some items. And I got my free tote bag, yay! I can't help it, I love free stuff. The bag itself is not that exciting really, but I've actually used it a few times. It's quite handy because it fits in my handbag easily. I ended up buying a bunch of gel pens. They're really lovely. There was a pack of 10, and then I also bought some individual colours that weren't in the set so that I could have them all. They have the options of clickers or lids. I know I'll lose the lids, so I went for the clicky option. It's a really smooth mechanism too. The ink flows smoothly from them and they write really nicely. So if you have a Muji in your area, I'd recommend checking them out just for the stationery section. They have all sorts of other household appliances as well. I think my favourite of the colours is Sakura Pink. It's such a pretty colour. And I really enjoy gel pens for sketching and colouring. These ones are nice for writing as well, and all of the inks are lovely and bold. I don't think this plastic pencil case is going to last very long though. These are probably going to end up in the one that my mum made for me. I also plan to use these gel pens in Small Victories, which is a small colouring book by Johanna Basford. It's been out for quite a while, but the price was ridiculous on it, and I finally found it on a decent sale, so of course I had to get it. This one's good in that it fits in my handbag really nicely, and I coloured these bits with those gel pens when I was sitting in a waiting room, so it's very useful for that. Otherwise, it's totally empty, and I guess I'll colour in it over time, probably with colour pencils as well as gel pens, but the gel pens fit easily in my handbag as well, so it's just a really easy little set to carry around, and it makes a good alternative to just mindlessly scrolling on my phone. There is another new release Johanna Basford book. I haven't got it yet at the time of recording this, but I'm sure I'll end up buying that one too. I can't help it, I must have them all. If and when I get that one, I might flip through both books and colour in some of the pictures. So that might be a video upcoming as well. During a recent Amazon Prime Day sale, I ended up buying a few things that were on my wish list, or just things that were on sale in general. This first item coming up are some acrylic markers by Artex. Now I have the large sets, but this little one is just basically whites and blacks and also a gold and silver, because I tend to use the blacks and whites really quickly. They're really great pens, they're brush markers, but also in acrylic paint, and you don't have to pump them or anything, they're all ready to go. This one looks nice and juicy, and I just basically got these as spares or to put in a travel case, because usually I just want a black and white paint pen in my kit when I'm going out and about. I like the metallics too, so I was happy that those ones are in the set. And how hard is it to get this box back together when I'm on camera? So those were priced down quite significantly, and I just thought it would be a good time to get them. The next item I got was on super sale, about 60% off. It's this Winsor & Newton designer gouache, and the box is all squished. That's how it's arrived, but the tubes are perfectly fine inside. It's a set of 6 tubes of gouache. A few years ago, a viewer sent me some samples of it, and I quite like the gouache, so I thought I'd get myself a little tube set. Basically intro colours: white, yellow, red, blue, green and black. They're 14mm tubes, and here's yet another video that I need to film. I honestly have a ridiculous amount of stuff at the moment, and I do try hard to not overbuy, but I seem to go through phases where I end up with a whole bunch of art supplies in one hit, and it's such a bad habit, one which I might try to avoid going into next year. I'll see how I go. I probably am due for another low buy, or a no buy if I can possibly manage that. Oh, this box was just totally dinged, and there's no way it's going back together. I might even cut that tab off. Let's just push that to one side and see what else I ended up buying. This was another wishlist item. I have the tinted black Japanesque colours, but they also have these colour ones in pastels, and it looks so beautiful. I think as a set on its own, it's probably not going to be that useful because all of the colours are light and there are no darker values in there, but I like the look of the colours, and I think as a supplementary set to some of the darker ones that I have, it will be really great. So I'll definitely have to swatch these out really soon. I think I might make a video just swatching some of the supplies that I bought recently, just so we can see them all together. And one last sale item that I bought is this book, Wildflower Watercolour. The cover really caught my eye, and you might know that I have a floral sketchbook going on at the moment. This is a book that's aimed for beginners, but it actually has quite a lot of handy tips in it for any level really. and the colour palette in it is quite nice. I'll flip back to it, I know they have it in here. These are all colours that I own, and I'm sure a lot of other people do, or they're easy to get a hold of. So it's just a basic palette, but when I was flipping through the book, it looks like there's quite a lot of nice projects to do, starting off with some really simple designs and then getting more complex as it goes through the book. It also talks about different brush strokes, and these sorts of exercises are useful at any level because I do have to remind myself sometimes how to use a particular brush. Some of my flowers end up looking very blobby as well, so I thought this might help me just to refine some of the shapes of flowers. You can see in this first one, basically they've used two colours, purple and green. There are step-by-step instructions along with pictures of the full paintings. The instructions seem pretty clear, and the pictures themselves are lovely. I really like the photographs of the paintings with all of the beautiful flowers adorning the tables, and I think overall it's quite an appealing book. The designs get more complex when they start adding more flowers together, and I'm definitely going to go through this book and do some of the exercises. It's a really great way just to get myself inspired, and also maybe to learn how to paint a few different flowers that I'm unfamiliar with. I have an upcoming video that I'm working on, and I might actually include this book a little bit in that just to work some of the designs into my paintings. I really like the look of some of these more complex ones. They look super fun to paint. Quite challenging, some of them. I bet mine are going to look messier than these. I think a few other viewers have bought this book. Let me know in the comments if you have it and what do you think of it. I think some were bought as gifts for other people, and just looking at this book myself, I think it's a really great present. I would be very happy to receive this book. So hopefully no one out there has the buyer's remorse. At the end of the book, there are a couple of larger projects, and I think this poppy one looks amazing, so I'm definitely going to have to try that one out. Maybe I'll ease in with a few of the simpler designs first though. But overall it looks to be a really nice book. On my actual birthday, I ended up going to the art shop. And I just want to give a shout out to the lovely lady who recognised me. It is so weird being recognised from my videos, but it was really cool to meet you, and thank you for watching. Anyway, I bought a couple of items which are not very exciting. First is this Galkid light, which is an oil painting medium, and you mix it in to help the oil paint dry faster. I picked the light version because apparently it doesn't affect the brush strokes as much, whereas the regular Galkid will just make the brush strokes quite flat and blend in with everything. So I just went for that one. I don't really know, I just picked one that I thought would be good. I don't have much in the way of oil painting brushes, so I bought this Princeton Velvet Touch, which apparently can be used for watercolours, acrylics and oils. Once you use something with oil paints, it can't be used with anything else though. They're not exactly cheap, so I just bought one to try out, and maybe I'll get a few more sizes over time. I have a reason for those, you'll see that in a moment. But seeing as it was my birthday, I bought myself a present. I saw this box of Holbein watercolours. Isn't that the cutest thing ever? I immediately knew that was coming home with me. Even though in the previous video I said I was not going to buy any more Holbein watercolours because I'd filled that palette, but I just couldn't resist it. This is a set of 12 5mm tubes, and it's a fairly unconventional palette, which is another reason that it appealed to me. It's for manga and anime, obviously, but I'm sure I will use it for all sorts of other things. I do already have the brilliant pink, but all of the other colours are ones that I don't have. And now I'm going to have to make either a second palette or just pull all of my paints out and make a huge palette of colours, which will probably end up leading to me buying even more tubes in the Holbein range. I think they have around 108 colours in their range. There's quite a lot of them, and they do have some really interesting ones. I like that there's a sap green in this set, and the black in this one is a neutral tint. This is always such a useful one to have, so I'm happy to have these, and happy birthday to me. But I have a confession to make, because this might not be the only set of watercolours that I bought myself for my birthday. Because in another store I found a set of Shinhan watercolours. These are the premium artist grade paints. I made a video a while ago with the professional set, which ended up being the student grey ones, and I was so annoyed about that. So I've got a little set of 6 here, and it's the first time I've seen them in Australia. It was in a little boutique Japanese shop in the city. If I can ever get the lid off this box, we can have a look at the colours inside. They are big tubes, they're 15 mils, but they do look larger than that. and it's a nice standard set, so the colours are permanent red, there's also permanent yellow light, then we have Viridian Hue, which to me is a better choice than actual Viridian, then we have Cobalt Blue, Permanent Violet, and Burnt Sienna. I've actually already started filming these, so this video is going to come out pretty soon, and a tiny spoiler, they're really lovely paints. I'm so glad I finally got some of the artist grade ones. They are much better than the professional set. But between this set and the Holbein ones, that's a whole load of new watercolour paints that I am adding to my collection. I'll just open this again so you can see the size difference between the tubes, 5mm and 15. I think both boxes were right around the same price as each other too. So those boxes were my birthday presents to myself, and I have a couple of sneak previews here of items which companies have sent me because I'm always getting stuff at the moment. It's coming into the holiday season. First up are these Fumui brushes. I'm not going to open them because you're going to see these really soon as well, and I thought I would keep those as a surprise, but I thought I would give you a sneak peek of the packaging. I have one last item which just turned up recently, and it's why I bought the gel kit. Meen has sent me a fairly large package of oil paints in 24 colours. I haven't done much oil painting on my channel, so I'd like to do a bit more. They also sent me these lovely porcelain paint dippers, so I'm going to show all of this in an upcoming video. And you'll see this brush along with the gel kit as well, because I'm sure I'm going to use that with these oil paints. I've got my work cut out for me here. But that's everything I have for today, a shameless display of capitalism. But hey, it was my birthday, and as usual I have a ridiculous list of videos to make. I haven't even filmed half of the stuff in my previous haul. I'm sure you're all rolling your eyes out there. But nonetheless, I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and tell me if you've bought anything exciting recently. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, I'd appreciate a thumbs up, and you might want to subscribe for future videos because I got lots of them coming. Here are some previous hauls to binge on, and I hope you're having a great day out there. I'll see you all again really soon in my next video. Swatch you later. Bye!